regarding the Karnataka government is planning to construct a dam in Meghaladu. Then the opposition leader, the Alliance Party, in the written a letter to PM regarding the Meghaladu issue. Will you take up this issue?
See, these issues are interstate issues which will be handled by the respective governments, and there's a tribunal, and I think there's a system for this. So that system, whatever ultimately under the law, whatever has to happen will happen. I cannot make any further statement on this because these are issues which are interstate, which are sensitive, and which needs to be discussed in a different platform, not on this platform. No, I'm just saying, see, these are all legal issues, the interstate issues. There's a tribunal, there is Government of India also will be involved. And whatever is good for the people, which is just and which is fair, that has to prevail. That is most important.
So on the issue of here to your left, on the issue of MSP, apparently I'm not seeing the bills, but I believe the words MSP do not appear in all the three bills. But the BJP has taken out a lot of advertisements in newspapers, and the Prime Minister has also assured that minimum support price will be given to the farmers. What is the position of the opposition parties on that? That is number one. And what is your roadmap for the Congress for the upcoming elections in Tamil Nadu?
See, the minimum support price is, there is no mention of that MSP in any of these things. And without, if these regulated markets collapse, and if the farmers are directly, then there's no regulation, when there is no authority over this mechanism, then MSP will, how many people will go and sell it at MSP? Today, because of the APMC markets, there is an MSP. If the market only is not there, because we know MSP by buying centers, when they open it, it's opened in few places. So farmers have limited access to those centers where the MSPs, where they can go and sell the goods to the particular center. But when there's no market itself, who's to control the MSP? Who's to control where the farmer is going and giving his crops? So MSP system itself is going to collapse because of this. And it's a panic reaction by the Prime Minister because he knows that, because we cannot believe the Prime Minister. We have heard him before also, no? We heard him before when he spoke about demonetization, how he lied to the country. We heard him before about bringing back black money, how he lied to the country. We heard him even today, what is happening in China in the and India border. He is still lying to the country. So how do we believe a Prime Minister who can lie to you? Today he will put advertisements, he will talk many things. But ultimately we cannot trust him. There is no trust factor with him. So MSP system itself is going to collapse if the agriculture marketing system collapses. And that is what the Shant Kumar committee which is there, that was the intention of the Shant Kumar committee which was made by BJP earlier, which has been used to bring in all these acts, is to see that MSP is removed and procurement by Food Corporation of India is minimized, because almost 1 lakh crores a year we have to spend on procuring all these food grains and crops. So the Shant Kumar committee wanted to remove all that. That was the original intention of the Shant Kumar committee made by BJP. That is the same thing being implemented in this. I feel all opposition parties, including AIDMK, should come on board to fight the BJP, because ultimately it's going to affect every state. If AIDMK wants to protect the interest of Tamil Nadu, they should attack BJP. They should talk against the BJP's policies. That goes to every other state also. But unfortunately, because of political reasons, they may be keeping quiet. But today, it is definitely interests of Tamil Nadu is being affected by these policies, and unfortunately, the government over here is keeping quiet because they are helpless. They cannot do much about the situation. See, roadmap, all that I will discuss later because I've just come. Tomorrow we have office, today I have meetings, tomorrow office bearers meetings, and then I have a senior leaders meeting. So if you want, after everything is over, I can do another press conference before I go, and then I can give out a few plans that we are going to be implementing. So right now, all I would say is that we have, election is close, our alliance is strong, we are united, and we are very confident that the alliance will sweep this election and the next government will be an alliance government in Tamil Nadu. The DMK Congress alliance government will be there in Tamil Nadu. See, if Congress is opposing, fine. You can say political. Akali Dal, which is an alliance of BJP in Punjab, they are opposing. Their minister has resigned. So you should understand the sentiment of the state. Punjab, Haryana, even Karnataka. Last 3 days, almost 50 farmers' organizations are protesting in Bangalore. And they're going to call for a bandh in Karnataka. Because it is going to affect the future of the farmer and the small farmer, medium farmer and the laborers. So that is the reality. Why will Harsimrat Kaur Badal resign if she did not feel that the issue of the farmers is serious and they are being affected? So BJP may say fake news. BJP itself is the propagator of fake news. They are the ones who propagate fake news. They are the experts in this. So that is a false allegation that they are making.
ஏற்கனவே இருக்கிற ஆதார விலை குறையாது, அது அப்படியே இருக்கும். அதை மத்திய அரசு குறைக்கல. விவசாயிகள் விளையக்கூடிய விளைபொருட்களை ஏற்கனவே இருக்கக்கூடிய பழைய முறைப்படியும் விற்றுக்கிடலாம். புதிதாக அவங்க விரும்பினா வேறு நிறுவனங்கள்லேயும் விற்கலாம், தனியார்கிட்டையும் விற்கலாம். அந்த உரிமை அவங்களுக்கு வழங்கப்படுது. அதனால் விவசாயிகளுக்கு எந்த விதமான பாதிப்பும் வராது அப்படின்னு சொல்லி மத்திய அரசு விளக்கம் சொல்லுது. அதனால் இந்த குழப்பத்தை நீங்கள் மக்கள்கிட்ட எப்படி தீர்ப்பீங்க? உண்மை என்ன?
See, the agricultural marketing system, in that not all the food grains, food products come to the agricultural marketing system. Even today, people sell outside. Some part of it comes to the agricultural marketing system. Some is also being sold directly outside. It has already been allowed. But the problem in this bill is, it is going to close down these markets. Because they are going to allow for a farmer to sell outside freely without any issue. What is going to happen is, markets will close. Farmer today may get a little bit better price outside from the private person. So he will go and sell it to the private person instead of the market, agriculture market. For the time being, it is good. After 2 years, when the markets collapse, because there is no revenue, there is no people coming, markets will shut down. Agriculture marketings will collapse. Then what happens? It becomes a monopoly of the private person. Then there is no control. Today, because of agricultural marketing system, the MSP, when it's announced, there is a control because we can regulate the market. We can interfere in the market. Tomorrow, if you dismantle the system, then initially it is good. The farmer may feel I'm getting a little bit more money. After 2 years, after 3 years, what is going to happen? You are in the clutches of the private company. He gives a price. If you can't buy, if you can't sell it to him, you have no other system to go and sell it to. There's no balancing system here. You can't regulate the system. So, that is what I'm trying to tell earlier. The BJP will put out all kinds of stories because they are experts in that. But not one thing have they done which helps the poor people, which helps these farmers. They promised many things, doubling the income, everything. But where has it actually happened? It's not happened, no? So, this is going to be very, very damaging for the farmer's future, for the agricultural economy, and it is going to go into the hands of the private individuals. Governments will lose control on the system. That is the main thing. It has got far-reaching implications. That is why political parties, farmers organizations, many different associations are protesting all across the country. Now already answered that question. You have to give me some more little bit time, but all Congress galaxy of leaders are there. Now we will sit down together, we will discuss and what strategy, what to do, how to go about, all that we will discuss. But we will work hard. I'll also work very hard. I'll also be here along with our TNCC leaders, and we'll go to the people. We will go to the people with the issues that are relevant, how AIADMK has in their government, how corruption, how the governance has collapsed, how administration has collapsed, how they have in the corona, this thing also they've not been able to handle it correctly, and how today they're becoming puppets in the hands of Prime Minister and the BJP. So all these issues we will take it to the people. But more detailed things I can only give later, after I discuss more with our leaders. See, I'll tell you a problem. There is no money. Government of India is not supported. State governments don't have money. And in this, whatever they have, in this also they want to make money. So, when Government of India doesn't support, when even our own tax we are not able to get, and there is delays, and the policies of how to prevent this corona has not been implemented there was so much of confusion. The way the migrant crisis was handled, the way lockdown was handled, all this has caused more problems to this country. So the economy has suffered, health of the country has suffered, so everybody is suffering in every way. So there has not been a proper planning and discussion on these issues. So that is why hospitals today, you can't get beds, their private hospitals are overcharging, and there is not enough ventilators, not enough ICU facilities. Government hospitals are also not able to cope. So where is the planning? Where is the support? Today BJP is there. What have they done in center? How much have they really helped the state governments? What have they done? So this is why this situation has come. Today in the entire world, India's economic growth is negative minus 23%. We are the worst performing country in the world today. We are the worst performing country in economic growth in the country today. So what does it mean? No support. 20 lakh crore relief package is a bogus package. Where is the 20 lakh crore? Where is the accountability for that? So making headline news is good. Modi ji announces 20 lakh crores. But where is that money has gone? Has he even given the list of where this money has gone? To whom has it gone? Who has benefited? It is a big, what Sri Alangodanji said, he's only bluffing. So why is our country at minus 23% negative growth? Why? That is the fundamental question, no? Bangladesh is better than us. Sri Lanka is better than us. Pakistan is better than us. Nepal is better than us. I'm not comparing it to America or Europe or any other. I'm comparing to my neighboring countries. All are doing better than India. Myanmar, Burma is better than us. Afghanistan is doing better than us. So it shows how the government is being run in the country, how the government is being run in the state, and that is the reason why people are suffering. No money in the pockets and no health facilities available. So what do they do?
What's your advice for them in this pandemic right now?
No, see, individually whatever Congress can do, leaders can do, they are doing. Everybody is suffering, no? Party, whatever they could support, they are doing. Individual leaders are doing. That is a different thing. But this requires support of government institutions, no? This requires the support of government institutions. So if that support does not come, individually they have done, I think. Many of our leaders have done many things in their constituencies. Party also has done whatever they could do. No, let us see, because not yet officially announced. So once if it's officially announced, whether it's going to be in November or along with the assembly, we don't know. So let us wait for the decision. Okay? Thank you. This assignment that has been given to me by AACC, I'm very happy to be over here. I'm looking forward to working with all the Congress leaders, Congress workers, and build the party, build the organization, and get prepared for the forthcoming assembly election, and to see that the alliance, DMK Congress alliance, forms the government in the next election. So today, the main issue that I've come to address is what is happening in the country, what is happening in the parliament, and how the BJP government in Delhi is undermining constitutional machinery, institutions are being destroyed, and a dictatorship has taken control of this country. We saw what happened in the Rajya Sabha 3 days back. Today there is an assault on the federal structure of the country. Every decision that the government of India is making, the BJP is making, it is encroaching upon the authority, on the powers of the state, and trying to take more power into its own hands. If you see all the policies today, if you look at the GST, what has happened today is states have lost the power to impose tax, to collect tax, and when we need the central funds, there is no automatic mechanism. Today states have to go to center and request the central government to release the money that is due to the state. That is what we have seen that has happened in the GST Council. What is legally bound money that has been transferred to the state, whether it's Tamil Nadu, whether it is Karnataka, whether it is any state, the central government has been delaying payments of those monies, and also not complying with its own rules that the GST Council and the Constitution, that the act of the GST Act that was made, not following those rules. So that is one issue. Then you've seen the national education policy issue. With this new NEP that Government of India is coming out with, it is encroaching upon the authorities of the state. What are the subjects? What is the curriculum? In what way it has to be taught? What are the subjects? This control has always been with the state governments. Now with the new NEP, they are trying to take that power to itself. So this is again an encroachment on the federal structure. If you see the NEET exams, every state has got its own examinations. Karnataka has got its own examinations. Tamil Nadu has got its own examination. Now we have to follow what the Government of India says. Our students, our youngsters have now to prepare themselves as per the direction of the Government of India. What subjects, what type of exam, all that is fixed by them. So cooperative federalism that Modi ji spoke about is only in words. What he is doing is taking the full control, and he wants the states to be at his, the states have lost their power, they are losing their power, and they have to be dependent upon the center. Now even if you see these new acts that have come, the APMC and these three ordinances, that new bills that have been passed. Again, it is encroaching upon the state powers, whether it is the agricultural sector, whether it is the agriculture marketing sector. This is in fact demolishing that sector. Tomorrow farmers all across the country are agitating. Why are they agitating? From Punjab to Kerala, farmers are agitating, laborers are agitating. Why are they agitating? Because Government of India has not bothered to talk to anybody. When you make an ordinance, when you make a bill like this, which is going to affect crores of people's lives, should there not be discussion? Should they not talk to state governments? What do you think of this bill that we are bringing? What is your opinion on this bill? Should they not talk to farmers' organizations? Should they not discuss with the farmers? What is your opinion? And we saw what happened in the parliament when the opposition parties were saying, refer this bill to a select committee, refer this bill to a standing committee, let us discuss it there, because this has got various implications. Unfortunately, they did not even listen to any of the opposition party leaders, and in the Rajya Sabha, when they were going to lose the vote, they created a situation and the deputy chairman violated all rules, and the rights of the parliament members were scuttled, and the bill was passed in that situation. And after that, they have even expelled the opposition party MLAs from the house. So, what kind of democracy are we living in? This is the fundamental question that we are all asking. How is the system, how is this country today? All the poor people, look at any policy that the Government of India makes. Yesterday they passed the labor law. What does the labor law say? Today if somebody has to, some laborers, unions have to go for a strike, they have to give 60 days notice to the factory. Before 60 days they cannot have a strike. Any factory above 300, below 300 members did not have a union. They can be employees, workers can be removed at any time. So laborers' rights are being curtailed. Farmers are they are going to lose their protection, regulation, everything is going to go. Who is benefiting from all this? It is the capitalist, rich, big corporate companies which are going to take control. That is what is happening today. The BJP is selling this country. I'll make that serious allegation. Selling the assets of the country. Selling the value, the wealth of this country to go into few people's hands. Somebody like Mr. Ambani, somebody like Mr. Adani will be holding the retail business, will be holding the telecom business, they'll be running the airports, they'll be running the railways, they'll be running the markets. So why do we need a government in the future if everything is going to be controlled by these corporate companies? And what do corporate companies do? They exploit. For them, profit is that is their main intention, to make more profit. So this is what is happening, and Congress and other parties, we have decided to take this issue up in a very big way. And on 28th, all across the country, there will be marches to the Raj Bhavan. But here in Tamil Nadu, all alliance parties together on 28th will be protesting against the anti-farmer, anti-labor laws that Government of India has made. And we will be taking up programs, a signature campaign from all the farmers across the state, across the country, collecting minimum 2 crore signatures. And on November 14th, on Sri Jawaharlal Nehru's birthday, we will be meeting the President to request him that all these acts of the government needs to be curtailed, needs to be controlled, otherwise there's going to be economic chaos in this country. The government has failed in every front, economic front they have failed, every front they have failed. So these are the important issues that we are facing today. So, if you see what all they have done in this new acts, I not want to go into the details because there are lots of details, but ultimately what is going to happen is the marketing systems is going to collapse. It is going to be for the farmer, whenever he produces something, he'll have to be dependent upon the private companies and there will be no regulation. MSP system will collapse, procurement will collapse, revenues for the state government, because every state government gets revenue from the I don't know what they call in Tamil Nadu, APMC only they call? Markets. So here also state government will lose revenue from the markets because we charge market fees, cess, and we use that money to develop markets, to use that for development of agriculture. That is going to go. So ultimately, we are seeing an assault on the democratic policy, democratic values of this country by the Modi government. And who is supporting this Modi government? Who is supporting this anti-federalism policies of the Modi government? In Tamil Nadu, BJP, AIDMK is supporting. Today everybody knows AIDMK and BJP are together. And today when the state's interest is being harmed, when the state's authority, state's power is being diminished by the policies and actions of the central government, if the state governments do not talk properly back to them, do not unite together, then tomorrow everything will be in the control of Delhi. They want one country, we all want one country. India is a united country, but they want one culture, they want one language, they want everything has to be in the control of them. They do not believe in diversity, they do not believe in freedom of expression. So this is the fundamental question that we are looking, that how do we save this country from this authoritarian rule? So as here in Tamil Nadu, I am sure that Congress, we will raise our voice, we will take up the cause of the people, of the farmer, of the laborer, of the poor man, and fight for them, and see that in the future we see that the government in Delhi will change. Because if the BJP continues to be in government in Delhi, I will say that this country will face a very, very dark future. So our aim is to unite all political parties, to take on this challenge, to fight against this authoritarian, autocratic rule of Mr. Modi, and bring what has always been the culture of India, what has been done by the Congress for 70 years, under Nehru, under Shastri, under Srimati Indira Gandhi, Rajiv Gandhi, Dr. Manmohan Singh. We have always respected everyone's language, everyone's culture, everyone's opinions. I remember Sri Jawaharlal Nehru, when the language issue came, he told the people of Tamil Nadu, as long as people of Tamil Nadu wants Tamil as their main language, nobody can change it. That was the promise made by Jawaharlal Nehru. So this is the kind of leadership that we want, which is accommodating, which listens, which hears people. But that is not the case today. Nobody can ask Mr. Modi a question. Nobody can tell him anything. Whatever he says, you have to hear. And he is running this country as if nobody can question him. That is not democracy. In the 6.5 years, not one press conference our Prime Minister has done. Nobody has been able to ask him any question, even in Parliament. He doesn't even attend Parliament. He comes to Parliament, gives a long speech and goes. So this is the issue, and we will take up the cause of the people. And Congress Party in Tamil Nadu, we will fight, we will unite, and we will build the party in this state. So I thank you very much, and any questions anybody wants to ask, I am ready to reply.